Beedle-dum-dum, beedle-dum-dum, beedle-dum-dum. There was a turtle by the name of Bert, and Bert the turtle was very alert. When danger threatened him, he never got hurt. He knew just what to do. He ducked and covered, ducked and covered.
He did what we all must learn to do. You
and you
and you
and you, duck and cover.
Be sure and remember what Bert the Turtle just did, friends, because every one of us must remember to do the same thing.
One thing about the SLTF, I mean the cableway that went from the silo to that building wasn't a launch control center, it was a equipment.
Yes, yeah, they did launch it there, but it was enough that it was, I mean, it would just make you go, I have the picture, but I don't know where it's at. It's in one of my binders. Underneath the lower level floor at Site 4. I haven't had time to go through it. There is a picture of that missile taking off, and you can see the building behind it.
I think it's in the video too.
You may be, but it's that famous shot. And I can't remember if it was March 6th or May 6th, 61. But,
That's 5/3/61 sounds right. I don't know.
Well, it may be. It may.
I got it right here. Yeah, 5/3/61.
It was either March or May.
I got it written. It's 5/3/61. I wrote it down.
That's it. And that's it.
But it's only one launch from the silo. They built the entire silo for one launch.
Yes.
It's crazy.
And see, the whole door, it really wasn't a silo door. It was just a kind of a thing on railroad tracks.
Got it. Yeah.
It moved over. It was nothing. They didn't have to build it for the site survivability. It was just built for, performing this test, and then we'll go on. In fact, if I take you back, to Major Simonson, well, Colonel probably now or was, he's in front of the blockhouse with President Kennedy, right, at 576 Bravo.
Uh-huh.
Well, you can see in the background, every time they did a launch, they painted the Atlas on the wall.
Oh, did they?
And you can see all of the launches. Well, the ice plant has grown over the entire facility, right? So I'm out there and I'm pulling this damn ice plant off the walls, right? And I find the original
mural.
Yeah.
Damn.
Of how many launches that it launched. And you'll see that if you look at the photographs. I don't remember if it was OSTF-2 for Atlas F at Vandenberg. As you're coming downstairs, you'll see the missiles that it launched painted on the wall. Because, see, it's not your standard site. You don't get into it the standard way.
OSTF-2 is definitely different than an Atlas F.
The control center was way out to the side, and really it was above ground, but just had dirt piled up around it. Okay.
Sandbag.
Yeah. And as you're going down into that, through it, the way its stairwell works is a little different, but just before you got there, you could see the launches. Because that site launched on the start page of Siloworld, in color, that F that's taking off.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the last one there at OSTF-2 that was painted there. And what was sickening is, oh my God, it had the original blast valves on the upper level. Everything, obviously it wasn't like an operational site, so they had offices instead of, a kitchen and things like that.
And the second level
and the second was flooded.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was sick. I mean, I was just like, do you know what would have to be down there?
What?
I can't fathom how neat that would be to see it.
When you look at OSTF silo, and it's 80 foot before it's flooded, whatever, 70 foot before the water, why in the world does the water table flood the second level of the LCC and OSTF?
That is a really, Bryce, I don't know. There was talk it was done on purpose.
Damn.
Okay. I mean, there's no, I don't have the answer. I will tell you what's most perplexing. I wrote this to you when you showed 576E by the sea at Vandenberg, okay?
Right.
I was shocked the silo looked dry. Okay?
Yeah. It's pretty damn
It's
close.
right next to the ocean. I mean, I was shocked. I didn't even know what to say. I mean, and then to see other sites full of water that are inland 2 miles.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
understand.
I mean, I was just at an absolute loss when I saw that. So, I mean, because that was interesting, because as I had wrote you, I mean, I didn't get to, we wanted to see into that one, but it had that steel plate over it,
Right.
over the door, and then now the lower half has been,
Well, you had you took a overhead picture of the escape hatch 20 years ago with Siloworld, and you said it seems like the upper level is intact. And 20 years ago, it may have been.
it could have. It
So,
could have. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
But the stairwell on that site, it either looks. Somebody said it looked burned or torched. I think it looks like black mold or something, but that's destroyed.
Well, a lot of them would go in there, the kids and the different visitors would set fire to the wooden partitions.
That's destroyed. How in the? But the concrete is like singed looking.
Exactly. Exactly. If you look at Site 10, 57910, you'll see the same thing from the kids through the years. And I mean, I played in that site when I was just a kid. And they would go in there and set fire to the wooden partitions.
That's just...
And then just, lucky it didn't kill them. I mean, I can tell you at Site 7, they got in there and they set the son of a bitch on fire, and then they couldn't get out. One kid fell because there was no handrail in the stairs in the stairwell.
Damn.
He lay down and broke his arm. Lucky he didn't break his neck. And, I mean, it's just stupid shit like that. But, after all these years, we've only, as far as I know, we've only had one fatality, and that was, 21 years ago at Site 7.
Yeah,
So,
I think
or Site 6.
I think you mentioned that one, and the best thing about the Vandenberg sites is that, I mean, they don't have very much graffiti. I mean, some of the sheetrock's busted up where a crowd went in there, and
Right.
But
well, one thing that was disappointed was really, I mean, I thought OSTF2 was the best.
Yeah.
Okay. Another name is 576 Golf.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
I thought that was the best. I mean, to look at everything else, I'll tell you what I thought when I was invited. I have died and gone to heaven. Okay. I'm going to get to see these things are in a time capsule.
Where was that now? What was that? Which one?
At Vandenberg, all of them. And then all of a sudden, when I got there, Bryce is like, "Oh, these are more shitty than the operational sites." So, I mean, can you imagine at Site 5, 40 years ago here, Site 5, this 8.5 miles further east than my site, okay? I was hired to gut it, okay?
40 years
We went back in. This was 25 years ago. I was hired to salvage it, okay? So I got the salvage rights in exchange for removing all the stuff. And we backlit the electrical off of our generators to their main panel.
Damn.
We energy.
That
I
was
never saw
awesome.
anything like it. I mean, it killed me to tear it all. I took the cabinets. The cabinets are, I couldn't use the cabinets at 4, but they're going to Site 10 when we start it this summer. And that is the last set of original cabinets. of the 579 sites.
Man.
So, and I took them down 25 years ago in sections, okay, fully complete, so they weren't destroyed.
Uh-huh.
I had the guys take extra time because I knew you were never going to come across those again. So,
What are those cabinets made out of, Nino?
just wood. They're just cheap plywood, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
I know. I said the same thing. I'd have thought, oh, they'd have been metal or they'd have been this. No.
And they're intact to be. Well, I mean, plywood is. If you keep it dried out.
But there's not a lot of humidity here, so that's the only reason the Walker sites